We start today in Puerto Rico, where recent rains caused by the passage of a tropical wave through the island of Puerto Rico benefited 9 reservoirs that had increased their levels of water significantly. Our Francis Felix reports.
The Aqueduct and Sewer Authority announced that it has put on hold the plans to interrupt the water service that were in force prior to the passage of a tropical wave through Puerto Rico this weekend. The amount of rain recorded in the past few hours has been beneficial due to the period of drought that we have been experiencing, specifically in the Caraizo Reservoir and the plants that are supplied from rivers in the eastern and metro regions, detailed the executive president of the Water Authority, Doriel Pagan. Thanks to this precipitation event, we can pause the interruption plans that have been implemented for a few weeks in some municipalities, she added. According to preliminary estimates of the National Weather Service, between 2 a.m. on Saturday and 6 a.m. Sunday, up to 8 inches of rain were accumulated in east areas. The entire eastern area accumulated more than 2 inches of rain, and parts of Vieques accumulated between 4 to 5 inches. Although the rain was beneficial, the engineer explained that the authority will remain vigilant to the behavior of the weather conditions and that they will continue maximizing operations to ensure the good use of water resources. Municipalities like Canóvanas, Loíza, Rio Grande, Juncos, Las Piedras, and Ay Bonito were part of the water rationing plan. Reporting from San Juan, Puerto Rico, Frances Felix.
All right, thanks so much, Francis. Well, meantime, the mask mandate in Trinidad and Tobago is 2 weeks away from being removed. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley made that announcement over the weekend before leaving the Twin Island Republic for the CARICOM Heads of Government meeting in Suriname. Now, he said authorities will be coordinating their efforts for what he hopes will be the winding down of Trinidad and Tobago's COVID pandemic response.
That it is our intention, given what we have experienced and what is happening around the world, that we now can begin to remove one of the last vestiges of the pandemic, which is the mask that we're wearing. And the Minister of Health will confirm it is our intention to remove the masks, the mandatory requirement for masks by the middle of this month, and make it voluntary. But there will be some areas where there would be some strong recommendations that, because of those what's happening in those particular areas, it would be useful to have the mask voluntarily used. So we can look forward to that, barring any unforeseen surge in any new variant.
Meantime, more than 4,000 people have died from COVID-19 in Trinidad and Tobago since March of 2020, but deaths have significantly slowed down, so have infections. Prime Minister Rowley said, well, he was glad to see the worst of the virus of COVID-19 is out of the country. We are still feeling the effects.
It has affected us terribly. It's disrupted our financial management. It has put us into significant debt. It has disrupted our economy. It has disrupted the world economy, which is continuing to affect us. So we're still experiencing COVID and its effects, but not in the way that requires us to space out as we have been, not see our friends and family, we're not wearing the mask in a few days' time, and we don't have to be tested to see our personal status before we move around at home or in the region or in the world.
Well, switching gears now to the latest on the travel industry, travel frustrations and chaos. Monday brought more cancellations and delays at airports, and for those who thought driving was a better idea, well, gas prices just went up again in the U.S. mainland and some states now thanks to a tax hike. George Solis has the story.
Before the fireworks even begin, tonight, many Americans already blowing up in frustration.
I've never come to an airport before wondering whether my flight's going to take off or not, so it's a little nerve-wracking.
The last-minute scramble to get home for the 4th of July is on. TSA screened more than 4.6 million since Friday across the nation's airports. Those planning ahead still burned by ongoing delays and cancellations.
My wife booked two flights, and one of them they just canceled.
Since Friday, more than 1,400 flights have been canceled and more than 15,000 have been delayed. What's happening at our nation's airports?
It's a mess right now. There's no other way of saying it. I've never seen anything like this, not in all these years.
Travel experts say it's a perfect storm where supply isn't meeting demand, calling on airlines to be more transparent about their staffing.
They have to get in front of this. They have to be honest about it.
American Airlines experienced a scheduling glitch Friday night that allowed aircrew to drop flights, leaving up to 12,000 flights without pilots through July. The airline, in a statement, said the issue has been fixed, adding they do not anticipate any operational impact.
This is not about this one incident this weekend. You know, this is a much bigger, as you know. I hate to be negative, but it's not going to fix itself next week.
Drivers facing other challenges.
I think the gas prices are insane.
The national average now around $4.81 a gallon. Still a bargain compared to California, where gas hovers around $6. And prices are projected to creep even higher. The Golden State, alongside 6 other states, all impose new gas taxes starting Friday. Nonetheless, some drivers still happily shelling out the green to see some red, white, and boom.
Woohoo! Worth every penny, right? To be with family over 4th of July weekend.
And as many families get out and enjoy our beautiful Caribbean waters, the American Academy of Pediatrics is recommending swim lessons for children to prevent drowning. The group says that many children did not learn this life skill during the pandemic. Naomi Rusham reports.
6-year-old Xander Rogoff is learning to swim. His mother Dana says the pandemic kept him from learning earlier.
He missed out on those 2 years of really getting into the pool and getting those socialized lessons at camp that he would have had.
With swim classes canceled at pools and parks, many children around the country did not get proper instruction.
Arms in front, face down.
That's why the American Academy of Pediatrics is encouraging families to sign up for swimming and water safety classes. Drowning is the single leading cause of injury death for children ages 1 to 4.
There's really strong evidence that swimming lessons in kids over the age of 1 is one layer of protection against drowning prevention.
It's a very important life skill.
Almost there, keep going.
Scuba Steve Camlett is Xander's instructor. He recommends parents look for an American Red Cross water safety instructor.
First skill they should learn is the proper way to enter the water to make sure it's safe. After that, proper floating so that if something were to happen, they can stay on top of the water. We're going to work on some mechanics with a stroke called the front crawl.
The AAP cautions other layers of protection are also necessary to prevent drowning, including pool fencing, close supervision, life jackets on boats and lakes, and CPR training.
Anything could happen, and that's a parent's biggest nightmare. So having him know how to swim properly is extremely important for us.
And Xander is improving with every stroke.
Excellent.
Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, Merrick, New York.
And children aren't the only ones who need to know how to swim. The AAP says it's never too late for parents to also learn how to swim.